Yes.
And you could sense real appreciation there, because if Bernie Sanders was a different person, he might be trying to burn down the village to try to beat her.
And, a lot of people today are saying that he was sexist towards her. I don't agree with that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I don't agree with that. I think he's been a gentleman. I think he's conducted himself with the utmost integrity. That's not to say that supporters in both camps aren't duking it out in really ugly ways, but I don't think that it's fair at all to smear Senator Sanders with that. I haven't experienced him that way at all, and as a woman, I feel like I have
you would
expertise
know.
About sexual discrimination. Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't put up with it. When O'Malley started that, I called it out right away. I mean, it's just not acceptable. So I think they're both doing a great campaign. I think Democrats, I say this every time we talk about this, but it's so true. Democrats have so much to be proud of, and tonight was a really huge night. There's going to be sound clips from this used in this campaign. It was big.
Yeah, it was big. It was as far as creating political perception.
Yeah.
It was gigantic.
Yeah.
I mean, you will never see the Republican candidates agree to be interviewed by Rachel Maddow.
No.
In a town hall.
No.
You will never see Tom Cruise. Ted Cruz. Not even spelled the same way. Ted Cruz.
But both religious
Donald Trump.
freaks.
Marco Rubio. Yeah, both religious freaks, although we haven't seen the going clear on Ted Cruz yet. You will never see the top 3 Republican candidates be interviewed by Rachel Maddow. You will never ever see those 3 agree to be on
or be so civilized. I mean, these are the Democrats. I know I say this a lot too, but I have to reiterate it because it's very important. This is a paradigm shift. Democrats are becoming have been for a long time, but are becoming publicly known as the party of grown-ups, the party that can govern, the party that can legislate, the party that can cross the aisle, the party that can get things done, the party of grown-ups who are civil. No one is talking about penis size at the debate, and that's so contrast that with what's happening at the Republicans. It's very huge what's happening right now. This is a huge change in the public perception of the parties.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any way to overstate that. It's just, it may not be evident right now. It certainly isn't, but it will be.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. You've been talking about for years how the Republican brand is damaged. If they nominate Donald Trump and keep up on their trajectory, my question for you, I'll get a chance to ask a question for once. What do you do with the Republican brand? Where's the Republican brand?
Well, they would have to. Well, all right. There's 2 ways to answer this question. What Republicans should do and what the current Republican Party will do. What Republicans should do if he is nominated is they should do all stand up against him, which they've already said they're not going to do. So that's not going to happen. They don't have the courage to do what they need to do to save their party. They're going to rally around him, just like they propped up Sarah Palin and pretended she was a real viable candidate. They're going to do the exact same thing with him. It's another cardboard cutout of a crazy person who should be nowhere near the red button. I mean, honestly, all the Democrats are going to have to do is show Donald Trump screaming about stuff, world leaders condemning him as Hitler, which happened today, and the red button. It's an ad, 5 seconds, you're done. That's it. So, but Republicans don't have the courage to turn their back on the few votes they can get from the extremists that they have cultivated and stoked for so long. Their tent, smaller tent, and they're clinging to it. And they themselves are getting more and more extreme today. How Senate Republicans and House, Paul Ryan said, we're going to get a budget, so he punted on the budget. Now Senate Republicans did today. They're not going to be able to get a budget together because they can't agree within their own party on a budget. So you see what's happening. The party is not functional. They are a dysfunctional group of little children who shouldn't be anywhere near, any kind of decision-making process, but they're in charge. And so that's why nothing's happening. So Republicans won't be doing what they should be doing. They're going to continue clinging on to the few votes they can manage from the white supremacist, the haters, the Archies, I call them the Archies, and the women that they convince. I mean, one of the talking points that I really can't stand as a woman is, and I hear this all the time about, don't vote for Hillary just because she's a woman. Well, excuse me. Why? First of all, women aren't doing that. They didn't vote for Sarah Palin. And secondly, why not? She's a woman who has supported policies that empower women. She's been doing that her entire career. Why wouldn't women want to support that? What's wrong with that? Why is it okay for men to vote for a man and they won't vote for her because she's a woman? So you see how that's a weird way of making a case. It just doesn't work, and it's really offensive.
And, on paper, she's clearly the most qualified person running.
She's the most qualified. She's certainly, when it comes to foreign policy, she's already been in the White House with Bill Clinton, and then she's been a senator, and she's been Secretary of State. There's no way of getting around all this. So it's offensive for them to claim that women... But they did this to African Americans when Obama was running. Yes, vote for him because he's black. I mean, could you be more offensive? Could you alienate people anymore? This is, you're calling people stupid, basically.
I'm not sure if we want to know the answer to that question because, as I said last time we did a program, every time you think Republicans have bottomed out,
I know. I mean,
they find another low.
There isn't a low. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen, and the media props them up. So the media keeps pretending that there's no fire over there. I mean, they did it with Sarah Palin. They did it with Mitt Romney. They did it with Mitt Romney until he attacked a corporation, and I made that point when it happened. It was okay for him to attack poor people. It was okay for him to attack African Americans. He could attack union workers. He could attack anyone until he attacked Jeep. And then the media was done with him. How dare you attack a corporation? So that's, we have the media carrying water for Republicans. So you're right. They may not bottom out. They may continue this. It's really ugly. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. We may not see an end to it. I don't know how it could get worse than Donald Trump, but I thought it couldn't get worse than Sarah Palin. And Donald Trump is worse than Sarah Palin.
But I think our takeaway for everyone listening is that if you haven't seen the Democratic Town Hall on Fox, it's worth checking out. You should definitely watch it. It will be enlightening as for nothing else than the contrast that paints between where the Democratic Party is and where the Republican Party is. And
Absolutely.
as you said, we have one political party in this country, and we have another group of people on the other side that are just having a collective nervous breakdown.
Oh, they are. They don't know who they are, but thanks. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight to hear our quick take on the Fox News Town Hall this evening. And thank you, Jason, for joining us. This is Sarah Jones, and we will talk to you hopefully tomorrow. Thanks so much. Good night.